I had this vision. I said, wait a minute. Why don't I use technology? I'm so much into technology. Why don't I use technology and apply innovation, come up with an innovation for water, clean water, and like a light bulb. I woke up in the middle of the night and said, I have an idea. I wrote it down. And in the morning, I expanded on that, right? Full plan and everything. And I shared that with my brother. Says, my gosh, this is great. I went to South Africa and then I wanted to go pitch the idea. I wanted to pitch the idea to the University of Johannesburg. They liked the idea.
Hey, y'all, it's Danny C. Welcome to the Happy Life Agenda podcast. Buckle up for today's conversation. I had no idea that when a friend introduced me to our next guest, that the conversation would be so pivotal and inspiring to women to create not just impact, but global impact. So the reason that I want you to turn up the volume today and stay glued to this conversation is because today's conversation isn't just a story about someone who came up with an idea that gives back to humanity. It is a story about a woman who dreamt of an idea and went step by step with courage, leaned into support, and remained brave at every single turn. She didn't let any of the stories women commonly tell themselves, can I do this? Am I worthy? Hold her back. She just completed each step, and she's going to share that experience because this is the real insight you need to navigate the current marketplace, step into your power, and come out with a career and a life that brings happiness. So with all that said, I want to introduce you to one of the most courageous women I have met, Lumbie Mlambo. Welcome to the show. Lumbie is the founder and CEO of JB Dondolo, a nonprofit that removes the barriers of access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in underserved and impoverished communities around the globe. So Lumbie, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. And you began this effort in 2016. So share with our audience, how did you get started? This is just so exciting to talk to you today.
Well, first of all, Danny, thank you so much for having me on here. I really, really appreciate this time with you. And I'm grateful to my friend, Karen Michelle, who introduced me to you.
Yes.
She and I met at, Shades of Success, where she had nominated me or selected me as one of the Shades of Success here in Dallas. So I'm very grateful that you connected us. And
Yes.
here I am today. So I am the founder of JB Dondolo, a nonprofit, as you said, that focuses on clean water. And one thing about just, having to follow your heart. And I always believe that your heart never lies to you. Whatever your heart tells you is what you're supposed to do. You just follow your heart because it never lies to you. Your very first instinct is always the correct one. So I've always gone by that. Everything that I do, when I have an instinct about something, I just follow my heart. I never second guess. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why I started JB Dondolo, a nonprofit to focus on communities without clean water. Because I knew that how important it is for women to be elevated and for girls to be elevated. I knew what it meant for women to not walk 19 miles a day. I knew how difficult that is when you spend all your time collecting water. And same thing with the girls. I just didn't want the girls to be out of school. I wanted to make sure that I started an organization that would address those issues and put that to shame and put it to rest so that we'll never hear it again. But here we are. We're not quite done. The journey just started. I mean, it's a long journey. So I'm grateful to you.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here to share this story because, when you and I were preparing for this conversation, like I'm just, blown away by the mission that you've taken on. But then also, as I work with women, a lot of us are afraid to take that first step. Or, what you just said is like you have that dream in the middle of the night and you're like, is that real? Is it something I should really go after? And so when you and I started breaking down your story, it's like you had that dream and then you just said, okay, I am going to do this. And there was a lot of uncharted steps that you went through, but you took that vision and you found the funding and the team and you launched it. So if you would take us through, starting with that night that you came up with this idea and then how you just kind of like started step by step executing it and how you kept yourself brave in all of these moments.
Yeah. So this whole idea wasn't really like I wouldn't say that it was my idea to begin with. There was an idea, let me just say, there was an idea out there, but it didn't have anything to do with clean water or women and girls. We had something to do with women and girls, but not water. So my dad, when he passed away, he said um, he was a humanitarian himself. He was an orphan with 11 of us, and he never went to school. Yet he had so much love for for the people, so much love for the community, so much love for his children. So he was always doing something in the community. And just growing up under his arms and everything, and with my mom, a big supporter and an educator himself, who taught my dad how to read and write. Um, we can say that we sort of picked that from them. So when he died, he wanted at least one of us to continue his legacy, to not just continue his legacy, but to actually deliver what he had promised to deliver at this one clinic, to give them, maternity beds and, better life, so that women wouldn't have to give birth on the floor. I kind of toiled on it for years and kind of thought, well, it's not for me. I'm not a philanthropist. So after a while, and one night I was sleeping and just had this dream and just this vision, and I kind of said, you know what? What if I went and just did what he wanted us to do? And it was so vivid that I just wanted to go there and just be there. I said, even if I fail, I'll be glad that I just made it there. So I went, and then I found out that he was helping people there, indeed. But the people's minds had changed then. They really didn't want like the maternity beds or anything like that. They were more into like clean water. And I just wondered, why clean water? I mean, everybody has clean water, right? Because I didn't really know that people lack access to clean water that much. So I kind of, you know, thought about it, but then went back and told them I'll do it. I'll give him water. And I won't give them the clinic. I said, I won't give you the clinic. I'll give you water. But then I felt guilty walking away. I said, well, that's really walking away from my dad's vision to provide them a clinic with maternity beds and everything. So I I kind of talked to them. I said, if I gave you clean water, would you let me finish the clinic, the work? They said, sure. So that was a deal. So I did that, gave them water. I said, okay, now allow me to help you with the clinic. We're not done yet with the clinic, but we're still working on it, still trying to provide what they need. But at least, we gave them clean water. But then from there on, my vision kind of mushroomed into something bigger. As I got to really understand more about water, I started to like all these things about water, how to provide water and what to do with a lot of people without water. I just fell in love with it. And it just became like this, my baby almost, kind of like something that I would sleep and just think of ideas and all these visions come alive. And I just write them down and get up in the morning. I'm like, we're doing this. It's like once I see a vision, I have this vision. It's almost like it's never wrong. My visions are so vivid that
Wow.
sometimes they come true, and I tell people that something like this is going to happen, and it actually happens.
Wow.
So I truly believe that I'm gifted when it comes to seeing what's going to happen in the future. It may not be, it may not apply to me. It may apply to somebody else, but I'm able to see what's going on, and I'm not able to address those issues, but I'm able to act on them, even if it's baby steps. I actually try my best.
That's amazing. Like you have that intuition and it sounds like it's a little bit dialed up compared to some other people. And so you're just able to kind of see it vividly and fall into it. So
Yeah.
when you had this dream, you had this vision, you told me the next step was like finding engineers, and funding. And so you like literally just kind of like started reaching out. Is that correct?
I
And
started
landed
reaching
on
out
something?
and I started reaching out and I got a lot of no's, like rejection. And I kind of thought, wow, if this vision is like so vivid and so true to me, why are people saying no?
Mhm.
So finally I decided, you know what? I shouldn't mind that people are saying no, because not everybody is passionate about water.
Mhm.
I told myself that nobody really cares at all about water. No one cares. As it's only me because I'm just maybe something is wrong with me. I care. And the
Mhm.
people without water care. So I told myself, I don't really care whether I get funded or not, because I was turned down a lot. I did get help from Johnson and Johnson, who helped quite a bit. I did get help from small donors, like we're just like, will see me and hear my story, and they just so much passion, and they'll just give, small money here and there. And that's all we needed. We really don't need big money, because I believe that if you're doing something for charity and you call it charity, it shouldn't cost a lot of money, because you're giving them the basic stuff to begin with, something to build upon, and then they can take it from there and elevate it to the next level if they want to do that.
Yeah.
But at least you're giving them something to start with. So I said, you know what? Let's give them something to start with, to stabilize them, so that they're able to provide stuff for themselves. So that was my goal. Give them a foundation. So that's what we did. And with what we had, we bid on the projects, and we got the work done. We did a lot of work. We helped more than 120,000 people
Wow.
in this one community. Yeah, yeah. And the clinic that didn't have water, there were schools nearby, like 2 schools, a secondary school and a primary school of 500 students. We helped them. And total in that community was 20,000 plus people who we helped
Wow.
with a
Wow.
very small amount. I don't believe in to do something. If it's a charity, I don't believe in millions of dollars. Because if it is, then it's no longer charity. To me, it's a business.
True.
Because unless you're helping like a whole nation of people, it shouldn't cost that much if it's charity work. I don't believe that charity should be glamorous. It should be include glamour or like big houses or stuff like that, like mansions. No, I believe in just basic stuff if it's for charity. If you're really helping people who don't have anything at all, it should be just basic, so that it's something for them to say, we have something, we're okay now, we have a life, we can build upon that. So that's what I did. And that's what I do.
I really love what you said there is, a lot of times we think that we have to have all of this capital and all of this stuff put together. But it sounds like to me is like that even though you heard no a lot, you knew that you didn't need a whole lot in order to be able to just get who you're helping to the next level. And really that's the essence of charity, is just helping people to be able to get that and take that next step. And so that's a really great lesson that you're sharing with us. And thank you for that. So now let's talk about the step that comes after the funding, which was the engineers, and how you ended up orchestrating something that is able to just, continuously bring clean water into these communities. And I think you mentioned that you kind of had your brother was able to help you. And so the example here is being able to lean to someone that's in your network or in your community to help facilitate some introductions that can get you to the next step. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So while I was attending the Forbes event in South Africa, I just went. I really wanted to. It wasn't really. Yeah, it was a Forbes event. I said to myself, uh, before I even went, I had this vision. I said, wait a minute. Why don't I use technology? I'm so much into technology. Why don't I use technology and apply innovation? Come up with an innovation for water, clean water, and like a light bulb. I woke up in the middle of the night. I said, I have an idea. I wrote it down, and in the morning I expanded on that to write full plan and everything, and I shared that with my brother. Says, my gosh, this is brilliant. So then when I went to South Africa, then I wanted to go pitch the idea. I went and pitched the idea to the University of Johannesburg, called UJ Peace. They liked the idea. But then my question was still, but is this innovation? It's not like the whole thing I just came up with. It's something that exists, but nobody really cares about.
Ah.
And I just wanted to and my brother said, this is innovation. I said, okay. And UJ Peace said, okay, that's innovation. But then my brother had also other people that I could talk to. He was like, this is really innovation. You need engineers to work on this. And the best engineer for that will be UJ Pitts, like the students at UJ Pitts, grad students. they'll be the ideal candidates. He also connected me with another company that is a water company in South Africa. That would be ideal because they deal with a lot of the logistics and everything. They know a lot. They're engineers. And I thought, my gosh, he's so brilliant. And here I am thinking, oh my gosh, this is such a small idea. So he made it a big idea. And I'm so glad that he did that, my brother Knox. So I'm very grateful to him for doing that because he could see value in that. And because of that now, we are partnering with UJ Pitts, University of Johannesburg, Pitts in South Africa, and also partnered with Zonaka, engineering company, who's also in South Africa, to bring about this clean water innovation we call climate H2O. Because this whole name came up in my dreams when I was sleeping as a climate H2O. That's what it's going to be called, and that's what we're calling it. And it's going to be piloting in South Africa, in the dry regions and also the wet regions, because it's a dual system that has both water harvesting from the rain as the secondary source, and also water harvesting from the heat or the moisture, as a primary source on a day-to-day basis. So when it's hot, there's going to be water. When it's raining, they're going to collect water and store it in the tanks, above ground or underground for a rainy day. So that's the idea. But everything else, the whole technology piece and everything, obviously I can't share yet until it's out. But it's going to pilot early next year with these engineers, and I'm so happy that once it's done, then we're going to take it, spread it out to South Africa, and whoever wants it, then all over Africa is going to have it, and the other countries as well can have it. Not just Africa. Yeah.
Wow. So you're coming on some really big things in 2026.
Oh yeah.
So how long has this been in development as far as like this new innovative technology?
It's been in development since early this year.
Oh,
I'll say that
wow. It moved fast.
March this year. Yeah. It's
That's
moving.
incredible.
It's moving fast, but at the same time, I know that it's really development ground up. Anything that you
Mhm.
start takes a while,
Mhm.
and pilot testing itself is going to take about up to 6 months.
Mhm.
Because we want to pilot test and refine it with the engineers to make sure that everything is okay before we
Sure.
send it out to the people.
Right.
And one thing that I really wanted for this system was, I see a lot of water systems today that are sitting on shelves,
Mhm.
not helping people. And why are they sitting on shelves? Because of the price.
Mhm.
Because people are charging so much. But if this is for poor people, again, it goes to, if this is for poor people without anything, why are we making it so expensive?
Mhm.
Why are we having to spend so much money? So my systems are going to be either free for people without water at all, who cannot afford anything, or they're going to be just minimal costs for people who can afford something, so that we can use that money to pump it back into creating more water systems like that, kind of like pay forward for those that
Yeah.
can. I don't think that, I don't want my systems to sit on shelves at all. They're going to mass produce and ship directly to where they're supposed to go. None of that they consider on the shelves. No.
Wow.
We're through with that because that's why we're here today. A lot of
Mhm.
systems are just sitting there. Nobody's buying them because it's too expensive. I
Mhm.
can afford them. And how about the poor people? Where are they going to get the money?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's fantastic. And I like that, one of the big shifts that I'd like to see is for us to put people first, which is what you're doing.
Mm.
And then all of the revenue and all of those things will follow when you
Yeah,
put people first. Because just like you said with charity, if you give what get what you need, and that's enough, and you can make it go a long way if you're not trying to reach for something that you actually don't need.
exactly.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole idea is inclusivity. It has to be inclusive. It has to be affordable, and it has to be accessible.
Yes.
So this system is lightweight to make it easy to ship at any time, without any need for, oh my gosh, it costs so much money. It's going to cost a lot. It's so heavy. It's going to cost so much money to ship,
Mhm.
right? It's
Right.
going to be so, oh my gosh, it's so light. I didn't think it's so light. It's not going to cost money to ship. It's going to cost very little to ship. That's what I'm looking for. And it's going to be kind of modular in shape. So it doesn't take too much space,
Yeah.
because if people don't have much space, what are you going to do? You have to think of all kinds of things that are possibilities. What could go wrong once the
Mhm.
system is out there? Someone say, "Oh, this is too big. I don't know what to do with it." The community may not even have that kind of space to put this in. So it has to be convenient to me. So I'm always thinking of what are people going did someone looking from outside, what would they say? Not
Mhm.
me looking from within. I'm a technology person. I'm very technical, but I want someone else to look at it like they're not technical at all, right?
Mhm.
And understand
Mhm.
why this is designed such a way.
That's
Yeah.
great. So I think when we talked earlier, you told us, you're in different cities and countries. Even in the United States, there are places that do not have access to clean water. And so one of the places that your machines are going to ship to is some areas in the US. So can you kind of tell us what cities and countries you're gonna be working in?
Oh yeah, I work here in the US as well, quite a bit. We work in Skid Row, California, where
Okay.
there's a 10,000 plus unhoused population.
Oh, wow.
So we target those populations to make sure that we provide them access to sanitation, like hygiene items, really,
Mm.
so that they have something. We would love to provide like showers for Skid Row, California, like moving showers, so they
Yeah.
can take showers and everything. But I do understand that it takes us that's going to require like a few vehicles starting out.
Mhm.
Even if we start out like two vehicles, it won't be bad. You know, just two vehicles being donated will be helpful. We can make use of those like trucks, and we can see what to do with those for people to take showers within. Um, but yeah, what we've done before is to provide sanitation, sanitary stuff. Like during COVID, we provide like sanitation for their hands and also just hygiene items to keep them clean. We did that also for the Navajo Nation. Navajo Nation is so similar to the African nation in that they don't have the infrastructure for water at all. They don't have water at all. They also
Oh
walk
my
miles
gosh.
and miles away, and it's very dangerous for the women to do that.
Oh,
So we
wow.
did that for them during COVID as well. We provided the Navajo Nation with uh, hygiene items and sanitation products um, to like households that live like you find that there's a household of like 11 people living together in one room. One
Oh
room.
my gosh.
Yeah. Imagine during COVID, how bad it was. So
Mm.
we did that with them. We also like do the same thing here in Houston, Dallas, Texas. We do the same things. We provide the poor with sanitation and hygiene items. Um, we also, taking interns, for example. We take interns from the city of New York. They've trusted us several times to teach their interns um, certain curriculums,
Mhm.
even something like data science intersect with clean water, and stuff like that.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of things that students can learn, uh, whatever students need to learn. This is like from low income schools that come to
Okay.
us. Yeah, they
Okay.
come to us like we have like at a time like 26 students to 30 students for 6 weeks.
Wow.
They come through here, and our educators here create a program. They'll create a program that is specific to them, to what they want to learn,
Wow.
because we also want to learn from them.
Mhm.
Because all these ideas that I keep telling you about, that sometimes they're in the suggestion box, these are coming from students. They're
Mm.
just sitting in the suggestion box because we always
Wow.
ask them for the ideas. What do you think we should do with the lack of access to clean water? And they give suggestions. And I look at them and then sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, it's a good idea, but it's not possible for us. But sometimes with those ideas combined, everything combined, it really makes it very good for us because then, it makes us really think hard as to what
Mhm.
else can we do, you know,
Mhm.
combined with all that stuff. So yeah, so we do all that stuff here in the
Wow.
US. But other countries as well include like I did mention South Africa, Zimbabwe. which is also just um, bordering with South Africa. Also Cameroon and also Nigeria. We do have a team in Nigeria. We've been working in Nigeria quite a bit. We've planted trees in Nigeria. Um, we partnered with Connect company. We planted trees twice. Um, we've done even works like campaigns with another company
Okay.
called the SDG company. It's an SDG company there um, that is also looking into building connections and getting in companies that deal with water access for women and also for young ladies. So we've campaigned in Nigeria several times and walked in the streets and held signs with them, for better life for women and girls and but we're doing charity work. Nothing in opposition of anything. We don't believe in interfering with our government stuff. We're a
Mm.
nonprofit. We're just there to help people, vulnerable communities, and that's all we do.
Amazing. This has been such a great conversation because, you're showcasing the difference that you're making in the world and what's possible. And then, what you can achieve when you just step bravely through each piece. And even when you hit that no, is keep going. And so thank you so much, Lumbie, for talking with us today and sharing this initiative. So tell us, how can we get involved? Or, can we donate money, time? What do you need and where can we go to get in contact with you?
I am so glad that you asked that question, how you can get involved. There are so many ways to get involved here at JB Dondolo. I'm going to just mention just a few. For example, you can sign up for our newsletter online on our website. If you go to www.jbdondolo.org, just to stay informed about what's happening, right, within the organization. You can also, one thing is that we we communicate through music as well. We believe that music bridges the gap. Through music, people can hear us. We don't always talk, but we let music talk for us. So if you are a musician, whether you're starting or seasoned musician, you can enter our song competition, submit your song or your lyrics online on our website again, jbdondolo.org. Just go to like the menu that says what do we do, and then go to music for water and songs and fill out the entry form. Another way is to become an ambassador for JB Dondolo because that would help us to promote our water campaigns on social media. For example, you can like, comment, share, reshare, or collaborate. You can become a volunteer as well. You can do that also online on the JB Dondolo website. Sign up to become a volunteer and or become an intern because
Okay.
we have lots of work for interns. We can work with you for 6 months, 1 year, or however long you want. And what do you benefit from all this? We do give interns, we do give them recommendations. We write their reference letters, and for when they go to college, for example, we make sure that we give them the recommendation letters and all that stuff that they need. And you also earn points because I also do the something called the PVSAs, uh, Presidential Service Volunteer Awards. So if you accumulate your volunteer time, then you end up earning like a medal, gold, silver, or bronze, or a certificate. So all those are good things to participate here at JB Dondolo.
I want to ask you about the internship and the volunteer opportunities. Now, you're based in Houston. Do you have to be in Houston, or are there opportunities all over the US or all over the globe? And then you specify that as you apply. Can you share a little bit more there?
Yeah, I'm actually based out of Dallas, Texas,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, but they're everywhere. The opportunities are all over the world, not just the
Fantastic.
US, not just in Africa, all over the world. Our interns come from all over the world, all countries.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well, I want to touch on that for a minute because, since I embarked on the Happy Life agenda, I've worked with interns, I've met people global, and it's just such an exciting way to just, get outside of your bubble and your box and meet people from different cultures and see what everyone is up to and what they can bring to the table. And it just makes life so much more colorful and fun. So this sounds like an amazing way to really expand your horizons and get involved with something that is going to change the world. And I know right now in this job market, there's a lot of uncertainty. So an internship is a great way to get your foot in the door and get those skills that you can't get otherwise. So definitely visit Lumbie's website, and that's jbdondolo.org. And then I will be having that on the happylifeagenda.com as well. So Lumbie, thank you again so much for sharing everything that you're doing and making the world a better place. We are so honored to have had this conversation with you. And of course, we'll be posting the shorts on social media, and you can follow the Happy Life Agenda so you can stay in touch with Lumbie and I as we have this conversation on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. And you can jump in the comments and ask questions, because the more engaged you are, the more that we're able to spread the word and let people know about something that is really going to help others. And clean water is so fundamental to a happy and healthier life. So thank you again, Lumbie. Thank you all for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you click subscribe below and leave us a review on your favorite platform. And we'll talk to you all again next week.